enjoyed about this? There was a psychopath guy, and then he had a buddy with an afro. And I was like, hey, look, it's us.
Well, that was a movie.
Hello, welcome back to First Thoughts. I'm Simon, this is Justin, and today we're giving our first thoughts on Bugonia, which is the new film by writer-director Yorgos Lanthimos. It's starring Emma Stone and Jesse Plemons. If you haven't seen or know anything about this movie, it's a remake of a Korean film. You couldn't tell. It feels very Korean at times. It's a remake of a Korean film called Save the Green Planet or something. This one, they opted for a more American indie art house sounding title.
Well, Save the Green Planet might scare off some people.
Yeah. And, it's about a couple of cousins who decide that they need to kidnap the CEO because she's secretly an alien. It's a dark comedy. It's a little bit different than if you're new to the Yorgos Lanthimos thing with Poor Things and Kinds of Kindness, that's what it was. You might be a little bit surprised by this movie because it's not as Poor Things was nominated for, I think, multiple Oscars, and I'm pretty sure it won one, and Kinds of Kindness, it's just like these movies that you expect. If you've only just now gotten into Yorgos Lanthimos, you'd be like, yeah, he's that Oscar director kind of guy. He makes Oscar movies. This is not trying to be an Oscar movie, although I think there could be some groundswell for Emma Stone getting another nomination for this. But, it's not, I don't think, as highbrow as some of his other work. It is a dark comedy, like I said, emphasis on the dark, but it certainly is quite funny at times. It has its artistic moments, but it's certainly more trying to be a quirky, interesting, fun time than anything. It was your first experience with Lanthimos?
Of course, yes.
How, I told you, don't do any research. How did you fare?
It wasn't hard to not do any research, but I had seen the trailer for this. It's been, the trailer's been playing in theaters. I've probably seen it at least 3 times.
Sure.
So I did have some idea of the setup of the movie going in, which is kind of rare these days.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how weird or out there this director is in their other films. This one got out there.
This is weird.
This one got out there. Honestly, for most of it, I was like, oh, I guess I can see some style and some stuff, but I didn't really understand what you were talking about. Don't research the guy. Don't go in blind. I'm like, this doesn't feel like anything crazy. He took it there, I guess.
Yeah, but I will say the style of it, like I said, it's a little bit different than, so I am fairly new to the Yorgos Lanthimos thing as well. The first one I saw, I still need to go back and see his older movies because I've only seen his last 3 now. So like I said, I start with Poor Things, which is, it's a elevated kind of movie. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, it's weird, but it reminded me of like Terry Gilliam kind of weird, where it's like, it's out there artsy and it's weird, but it's really, highbrow artsy weird. And then Kinds of Kindness was still kind of in that same ballpark. This feels the most different of the 3 to me so far. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it was definitely different because, like I said, I felt like there wasn't an attitude or an aspiration to be highbrow in this, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. It's just a different thing. So, yeah, it was certainly weird,
yeah.
Which you come to expect if you know this director. You expect weird, but it's maybe a slightly different weird than some people, including myself, would have expected. But that's not a complaint. I enjoyed this movie. I don't know if I enjoyed it as much as like Kinds of Kindness. I loved Kinds of Kindness. This one I liked, but I don't know that I loved it. How did you feel?
I definitely enjoyed it. It kept me guessing, I'll say. For a movie that at most points I kind of figured I knew what was going on here, unless it was going to take some sharp turns, and it took some sharp turns throughout the times.
I wasn't surprised by anything that happened in this movie I made. I just didn't make my predictions to you because I was like, I know he's not in that headspace. I predicted before this movie started exactly everything that was going to happen in this movie. Except for, to be fair, the cop character I didn't know about, really. So
Yeah, no, the cop-
anything involving him I didn't see coming. Everything else
The cop
I
character,
knew before the movie even started.
the cop character threw me off a lot. And looking back, I feel like the cop could have just gone away.
No, he couldn't have. He's an important person,
Yeah.
Justin.
I kind of forgot about him after a certain point in the movie, but that was an odd one, and something I thought would be a deeper point towards the motivations of one of the characters, and I guess maybe might have been a bit, but was it? It was just,
That's something interesting about this movie is like it's kind of sporadic in its pacing and its character development, where like, so I was kind of expecting a standard movie where it's like you see the character, you get the motivation, then the character does the thing, in this case kidnapping Emma Stone. This movie practically starts with them kidnapping her,
Yeah.
and then you kind of get glimpses back into the why and the how from there. And I'm not, once again, not complaining, because just because it's in a different order or atypical doesn't mean it's bad. I was just that kind of, if I could say anything surprised me, it would be that. The style of the storytelling.
I did figure the kidnapping aspect would happen pretty quickly, just because it's in
You
the trailer.
gotta.
Well, it's in the trailer, and I'm like, okay, that was it was, if I remember correctly, I think it was shown pretty quickly in the trailer, which then makes you think, oh, I guess it's going to be a lot of the movie while she's in captivity, and
Sure,
maybe her journey there.
but
And
to
figuring
be
out-
fair, for a movie like Roofman, which you didn't see because I saw that with April, the whole movie is that he's a criminal who escapes from prison and then lives in a Toys R Us. He doesn't get to the Toys R Us for like half an hour-ish in that movie. That's typical, where it takes 20-30 minutes to kind of get to that plot. I feel like they kidnapped her like 10 minutes in. That's quick.
It was pretty quick.
That's
definitely
very
less
quick.
than 20.
Yeah. So a little bit different there, but like I said, no complaints there. My biggest complaint was, and maybe this is something to do with the pacing, was I wasn't completely entertained the whole time. I think there was a couple of moments that I felt like it kind of dragged, and I was like, maybe it's just because I ended up knowing where every twist was going to go, so I was kind of just waiting for it to play out. It was like I already had seen it and was watching it again, even though it was my first time watching it. It makes me really want to watch the original, though, by the way. I'm sure they made plenty of changes. They always do.
That is pretty curious. I wonder how that one would go.
But yeah, I still think I enjoyed it. It wasn't necessarily quite as my taste, like I said, as Kinds of Kindness. Kinds of Kindness, I forget what I rated it or anything, but I really enjoyed that movie. I probably gave it like a 7.5. This one I'm probably closer to a 6.5, because I did enjoy it, and I thought that it was expertly made. Like, I mean, he's still a great director. The camera work is still great. The comedy works. It wasn't as much for me personally in the subjective way. And so that's why I'm closer to a 6.5, but maybe a light 7, somewhere in that range for me.
6.5 is fair. Probably 6.5 for my Afro brethren. but yeah, no, it was enjoyable enough. I guess I said kept me guessing. There was a couple aspects that I was flip-flopping throughout the movie on. Most of it is fairly straightforward as it starts to lay out.
Sure.
We're gonna have to talk about that cop though. That cop.
Yeah, that was probably the weirdest part. It sounds like we want to get into spoilers here. So I still think I do recommend it for those of you who like, movies off the beaten path, I suppose. I don't think you need to be told to watch it, but go ahead. Like I said, it's not necessarily a quality drop-off, but it's a little bit of a departure. So maybe it will make some new fans, if they're more into that style of weird. Like I said, it does. I don't know how much it's actually like the original film, but I felt like I could feel the Korean, DNA still there, because it was just like aspects of it felt like that root to me.
Yeah.
And so that's different than, obviously Yorgos Lanthimos is Greek, not Korean, and he has a very unique style of his own, and it felt like he kind of sacrificed some of that style to mimic maybe another style a little bit. And so that's where I'm like, I don't think it's bad or even necessarily worse. I just think it's different. So
it feels like it conveys its message pretty
Yeah.
decently. And I figure whether they've changed some aspects or not, that's probably somewhat the message the original was trying to convey.
yeah, I even think I read a quote by the original director who said something to the effect of like, it breathed life into it, but kept the same DNA or something. I forget what exactly he said, but it was like it's a different take on the same concept, and he liked it. He approved of it. So
That's always nice.
yeah. So yeah, we're gonna get into spoilers. So if you don't want anything spoiled, you should click away, go watch it, and then come back and we can talk about it then. But don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, all of that. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye. So yeah, I mean, I don't know why I knew, or if I just like felt it, that like she was obviously actually going to plot twist be an alien the whole time.
It felt like that would be the funnier outcome.
Yeah.
But I admit they kind of had me guessing a couple of times
Sure.
throughout. Like,
They don't wink
are they
too
really
hard
gonna
at the
do it?
camera.
They really not. And the ending really caught me by surprise. They really threw me hard there. That it
No,
was
that-
just. I was like, it'd be funny if this happened, but I'm like, oh, okay, she's gonna have to just try to move this couch out real quick, and he's just gonna somehow blow up or something, or make. No, I didn't quite expect the
Yeah.
rest of it.
No, the second she ripped off the neck brace and like sat up in the ambulance, I almost shouted, I knew it, but I restrained myself.
Oh, okay. If we're talking that point, yeah. Oh, I mean, I didn't.
No,
know
I knew
it,
the
but, like,
whole time.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's the point where it's revealed.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Well, not literally, but like,
I mean, pretty
you
crazy.
can tell.
So, oh gosh, I guess this is not a spoiler for this movie. I mean, the movie came out like 30 freaking years ago, so I
Too
don't think it
soon,
matters.
Justin. Too soon.
And I'm actually the usual suspects, right? The ending,
Sure.
Kaiser Sose. I half expected her to start walking normal, like running normally over there, like
be
no more
funny.
broken knee. That
Yeah.
would have been crazy.
Yeah. No, I didn't think that, but that would have been funny.
Because her like limping away out of the ambulance kind of reminded me of him leaving the police station, and then I just half expected her walk or her limp to just turn into a normal walk.
But I will say, since I thought that she was going to be secretly an alien the whole time, I was watching Emma Stone's performance like a hawk to see if there was hints of it, and there were. But she delivered every line. It was beautiful because she delivered every line that could be taken as if she was lying and as if she was telling the truth. Every line. It was perfect. I loved. She was amazing. Nobody's gonna get the reference, but it reminded me of Devon in the softening. But like, no, it's such a great performance where it's like it has to be, you have to be able to see it differently depending on how you're interpreting it, and she does it phenomenally. I thought she was great, and of course, I mean, Jesse Plemons is always good. I love this cast. The comedy really worked. You know, it wasn't trying to be funny the whole time.
No.
It was just like probably half the time maybe, but when they wanted to be funny, it was hilarious. I don't know if I've said it about, I think I probably said this about Yorgo Lanthimos before, but like his humor really is in the silences, the poignant pauses, and he nails it once again in this. So yeah, he really delivers on the humor. The disturbing element is fun. I mean, it's hilarious when the cousin, Donnie or whatever his name is, shoots himself in the face with a shotgun.
Oh gosh.
It looks like they took a bucket of paint and threw it at her. Because I was like, that's not how blood works. It was like the monkey all over again. That clip of the girl diving into the swimming pool and exploding keeps popping up on my Twitter for some reason. And I just laugh every time I see it. And that's like the level of silliness that went to, where I was just like, no.
Yeah, it's really like all the blood that could be possibly in his body
Yeah.
just got flung on her.
It was all in his nose. And it went pew. So, yeah, a little bit silly there. And then...
And like he shot himself this way,
Yeah.
and it all rockets on her.
no logic, no physics was used there. Just pure fun. The same thing can be said for when Jesse Plemons explodes himself. And just his head comes flying out of the closet like it was thrown by Tom Brady at her head.
Just directly hit her in the face.
And it's like, once again, no logic there, no physics involved, just fun. just fun filmmaking. So, yeah, like I said, dark comedy, emphasis on the dark, and it's a good time. It's, like I said, not high art. It's not him going for another Oscar attempt or anything. I think he just wanted to make this because he wanted to make it. I mean, you can see that from the way that they designed the aliens and the spaceship and everything. It was just like, this is so silly. It reminded me of that Scientology movie. What was that called? It's like one of the worst movies of all time. John Travolta,
That does sound amazing,
Scientology movie, Battlefield Earth. Fucking reminded me of that shit with like the hair and the way they looked and everything. It was like, it was so silly looking, and I was like, I love this. Because, also, by the way, she pointed out, maybe she was lying about this, but it was like, we can't go into the transporter at the same time because we'll get reconfigured together.
Yeah.
Our DNA. And maybe she was lying about that because she wanted him in there by himself because she knew he was going to explode. I don't know. But then the walls are literally coated with his DNA, and she gets transported up just fine. So I'm not sure. Maybe she was lying. I don't know.
It only matters if he's alive. Dead DNA doesn't transfer. Well.
It's not like Captain Underpants, or if you sneeze, you'll become a booger man. Deep cut. Anybody read those books? I did. Totally a sillier attempt by this filmmaker, but he's still a great filmmaker, and he knows how to, have a good time and do something silly. Right. It's like Tarantino. Not every time he makes a movie is he trying to make Pulp Fiction. Sometimes he's doing something silly. He's doing Death Proof, or a Kill Bill, where Kill Bill is certainly artsier, but I guess Death Proof is probably the best example, where he's just deliberately trying to do something silly and fun. But he's still a great filmmaker doing it. And so that's how this felt to me, it's like, this isn't trying to win anything. It's just trying to be a passion project that is by somebody who is extremely good at what they do.
I guess the message behind the whole thing is something along the lines of, we're destroying the Earth. Is it like that?
Yes,
we can't
no.
Save it, or?
I don't think there was a message, because, like, if you think about it, a lot of it, I'm sure, if you took literally, is not a message most any Hollywood director would be trying to make. Because, so, his whole point is, there's a group of people, essentially the Illuminati, but aliens.
Right.
Alien Illuminati, which I guess Illuminati is aliens. They're lizards. I'm assuming maybe they're from space. I don't know. Where else would they be from?
I mean, the center of the Earth, potentially.
Sure. Okay. Right. Sorry. Or outside the ice wall. Which I loved the flat Earth imagery in this.
Oh my
I
gosh,
cracked up
yes.
every time they showed it. But anyway, so alien Illuminati people are destroying the world because who else in their right mind would knowingly destroy the world? It has to be somebody pure evil. And she's like, no, that's not the case. And so if she's telling the truth, which
she kind of seems like she is,
which she
in the
ends
end.
up being telling the truth,
Yeah.
then the movie's message, if you take it at face value, is that corporations and politicians aren't destroying the world, it's just happening. And I'm like, I don't think that's what I don't think
that's what that was trying to convey exactly, but I can see where you're getting that.
Well, because that's what she says, is like, some species just wind down.
Yeah.
That's what she says.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I don't think this movie was trying to have a deep philosophical point. Sure, there's little points that they make in there, but I don't think this is that kind of movie where it's trying to have a point necessarily. I think, because any point you could be making immediately goes out the window once you go to the hot tub in the space. Like, it's just like, I can't take anything you said seriously anymore. It's just silly. So I really doubt that it was trying to be a deep movie. Maybe it was.
Clearly, this movie was saying humans are a plague upon the Earth.
And that's fair.
And that it would be better if we just reset it.
Or just get rid of us entirely. Which I do have questions about. Because, so, the imagery they use...
Right.
Now, it's not the literal Earth. I don't think so. Because she said, we came across your planet. So, the fact that there's a disc in their spaceship, it can't be the literal
It doesn't
Earth.
seem like it's supposed to be, but I do love thinking that
Sure.
in this movie, the Earth is flat or some shit.
But regardless of if it's flat or not, I don't think it's that size.
No.
Is what I'm saying. I don't think it's in the confines of their spaceship.
No.
But the imagery they use is popping the bubble, so my immediate thought is no more atmosphere.
Right.
So everything's dead. That's clearly not the case, though, because all of the animals are fine. There's still fire burning. There's still wind.
Yep.
So it's just specifically all the humans die. I'm like, what? What did we do exactly to kill all the humans? I'm curious. Because the cats and dogs are fine. The birds are fine.
And I don't really get it either. I know they were specifically targeting the humans when they were doing it, although it made it seem like they were killing just everything on Earth. But, like, the whole movie,
Except the cockroaches.
they've never really had much issue with the animals that are working towards the harmonious existence on Earth. Yeah. It just seems to be the humans screwing everything up. Mm-hmm. So they just killed us off for the Earth to go back to its harmonious ways. Because it was like, they came... What was she explaining? As if, assuming that's all true, because at first, before I fully realized she was an alien, I thought she was just using his writings and just spitting his writings back at him.
No, she was telling the truth, and that's why he was like, what are you talking about? Because it wasn't what he thought at all.
Yeah, no, it was interesting, but I just started thinking, when that was happening, I was thinking it was just, oh, how does she know all this? There's no way you could find this all out, and then forgetting his lab's right over there, whatever. But clearly she was in the lab because she's confronting him about findings in the lab.
I think it's clearer now that I think about it that she's a really bad liar. Because there are moments, obviously she's lying throughout, and you question whether or not she's lying, but there's moments where it's really obvious she's lying. And those are the moments she actually is lying. Like, oh, just go in the closet, you don't need me. She says it in a way that seems really fake.
Yeah.
And so it's like, so she actually, and that's how you can tell. Now I need to rewatch it and see her performance and be even more blown away by it. Because there's some, like, times that she's lying and it's really obvious she's lying. And there's other times she's lying and you're like, is she telling the truth? I can't tell.
And honestly, I didn't think about it at the time, but those moments where she's obviously lying just make it kind of feel like it's for the audience.
Yeah.
Like, to get us
in. It felt
in
like,
on
just
joke.
like a joke.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, because, like, there's no way, you could give that monologue she just gave of the history of the Earth and the alien species, and then be like, closet. It's like, you're one or the other. So that's really interesting that I think about it. But, yeah, no, so like we were getting to, the history of the planet is, so Earth existed, this alien species, That's a
damn good question.
I knew it at one point. Andromedis
they're from,
race.
They're from Andromeda, so I guess they're Andromedans.
Andromedans, something, that race of aliens. They
Andromedans.
discover Earth and go, wouldn't it be fun if there was people like us here? That would be cool. And then everything goes to shit very quickly.
Well, hold on, I think you're missing a step. They showed up to Earth during the time of the dinosaurs. And they found the dinosaurs living in a harmonious existence on Earth, essentially.
Earth is chill.
But they accidentally screwed up because of, I guess, space viruses and dinosaurs on Earth not having immunities, wiping out the creatures on Earth. Then they tried to repopulate.
Yeah, then they repopulated with their lookalikes.
Yeah.
But then the lookalikes started a nuclear war.
They're kind of corrupted or something like that.
And so... yeah, they tried to self-evolve
Yeah.
and made themselves dangerous. They gave themselves the rage virus, I guess, something. Anyway, and then a nuclear fallout happened. The only people that survived was Noah and the Ark.
Right.
And then after they landed, they died because of the nuclear fallout. Mm-hmm. But there was his descendants ended up surviving in ape-like hybrids.
Yeah, it's like the early evolution great ape ancestor stage.
Primates, and then they evolved into what humans are now, which is very similar, remarkably, to what they were first created to be, but I guess on a genetic level you can tell they're fucked. But they appear very much the same. Crazy. What are the odds of that? I guess same environment, but anyway, so that's the history, and she's just spewing this to him, and he's like, that's not at all what I thought I knew. Also, dude, I love the fact, though, that his study, he somehow bullshit his way into perfectly redesigning their spaceship. I love that. So good.
He was so close on so many things.
Yeah.
It's just not quite there.
No, he misunderstood several things. But, Yeah, no, it's just fun. It's silly, it's stupid. Maybe there's some light commentary in there, but it's nothing profound. It's just humans suck and they're destroying the world. We've heard that a million times.
They wanted to reset it back to those dinosaur days.
Yeah.
Those dinosaurs are just dead.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what I got in the end. It was just like, reset.
Yeah. And I don't blame them. Let the cats and dogs rule. I thought all the oxygen was gone, and then all of a sudden there's a dog like licking somebody. I was like,
he was
what?
eating a sandwich out of his hand.
I was like, what? And then you see birds fly by, and then a cat, and I was like,
and they show the bees again.
yeah. I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
It was an odd visual for whatever seeming message they might be going for there.
Yeah.
But I guess the point is just the humans are the really bad part, not everything else.
Which once again, you can get that same level of commentary out of a Stephen King horror movie. Like, it's not deep commentary. This movie's intent wasn't to be profound, and that's fine. Not every movie has to be deep and profound. Sometimes they're just fun, and this movie was. Now, I will give it a worse rating. But that's just because, I don't know, it wasn't quite my thing. I don't think that was because of the profoundness level of it. I think, and maybe it'll grow on me the more I think about it, but right now, it's just like, I go into his movies now with a very high bar based on the last two films. And this was just different. Obviously, like I said, it's not different in a bad way, but not what I wanted either. So it's, I don't know, I think it has a chance to grow on me, but I also do think because of the subject matter, it's not a great movie to me, but that's subjective, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's great either. It's definitely interesting. It definitely would.
It's fun.
Watch it again.
Yes.
Just to see if there's anything I missed or something I could have caught
Oh, yeah.
the first time around. Listen, man, we need those bees.
She said the bees were coming back. Is that true?
I hadn't heard that, but
Me
maybe.
neither.
I mean, we clearly know we were killing off the bees, or are still killing off the bees, so there's clearly conservation efforts.
Sure.
But how effective they've been
Humans,
so far.
when they want to correct their actions, are remarkably good at it.
Yeah.
We just very rarely actually choose to do it. Like, the ozone is almost entirely back, which is great.
We don't pay attention until it's almost too late, and then we fight.
We
like hell.
also think we know a lot more than we do, if we're being honest. We're dumb. But we know a little, and that's dangerous. Anyway, so let's just kill all of us. Hey, Emma Snow?
Seemed to work out.
Alicia Silverstone was his mom in just a very small role. I bet she was just like, she saw Poor Things or something and was like, get me a role in one of his movies. Even if I just lay in a bed dead the whole time. It'll be great.
Hey, she had a seizure.
She had a seizure and she had a couple lines. That was the artsiest this movie got, though, by the way, was those, like, dream-like sequences, whatever they were. Very reminiscent of 8.5, where it's like, she's a balloon and he's holding on to her. I was like, that's really cool and different, and I liked that. I was expecting more stuff like that, and there was very little, but I enjoyed the little moments they had.
I've been thinking it too literally or something, but like, she's in a coma essentially because of the.
Yeah, he's the anchor keeping her tethered to the world.
Yeah.
But like, I was thinking visually, it looked like 8.5.
I don't know, wait.
Yeah, you're not cultured enough.
But no, that was definitely an interesting part and something I thought would be more often throughout the film. It was enough.
Yeah, it was like twice, maybe
2 or
3
3
times.
Yeah.
Probably was 3 times because, rule of threes.
Because it was the first scene where she floats up for the first time.
All the
in
needles.
hospital.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's the second one, isn't it? When she floats, because the first one's the needles.
Yeah, you're right. The second one's where she floats, and the third one's when he goes to
talk to Emma.
Yeah, outside of the building.
Yeah, so I think it is 3 times. Probably is. Anyway, also, minor role, by the way, the cop is played by Stavros Halkias, who is or however you say his name, he's a stand-up comedian.
I think I literally just saw a tweet by him or something.
Yeah, so he's got a weird character arc, if you can call it an arc.
The weirdest.
Because his whole plot line is he feels really... So he's a sheriff, not just a cop, he's a sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
And he first pulls over Jesse Plemons, and you think, oh no, what is he pulling him over for? Just to talk. And he says, like, hey, we should hang out. I know I wasn't the best babysitter. Things got kind of weird, but like, hey, we're adults now. Which, by the way, I'm like, he does not look old enough to have babysat him, but whatever.
No.
Because Jesse Plemons looks older. I don't know the age differences there, but I think he's older.
It definitely didn't help that Jesse Plemons' character didn't look like he showered or changed his clothes regularly.
Yeah.
Outside of when he
Jesse
wanted to in that
Plemons
suit.
is 1 year older. Anyway. But so Jesse Plemons clearly doesn't want to see him or talk to him, but it's like he also has a woman chained in his basement, so understandable. Yeah. But then he comes over because, once again, he is a sheriff, and there's a missing woman, so he's like, hey, we pinged your cell phone to the tower near here. There's not a lot of people that live out here. Want to know if you saw anything. I thought he was going to pull out a picture when he was like, have you seen this car? No. Have you seen this woman? No. I thought he was going to pull out a picture and be like, huh, weird. And it's like a traffic light picture of him driving the car.
Because they said a camera had picked up the car, and
Yeah.
a speed trap had picked up that the car was in the area.
I expected him to show that because the second he took his mask off to drive, I was like, why'd you do that? That's silly. But anyway, I guess if you're driving and you've got a mask, people are going to notice that too.
It would be more conspicuous than not.
But anyway, he's in his house though, and he's like, it's weird being back in his house. A lot of weird memories. And then he essentially admits to, without putting in as many words, molesting him as a kid and feeling guilty about it. But hey, he never did it to anybody else, and he doesn't even know why he did. I guess it was a power thing. And Jesse Plemons, once again, has a woman chained in his basement, and so he just wants the conversation to end and leave. So he's just like, hey, don't worry about it. It's fine. Not worried about it. But it's clearly not fine. But it's not expounded on at all. And once again, I was kind of with you where I was like, I thought I was going to lead somewhere. I think, in retrospect, the whole point was just to be funny.
I thought it was going to be tied to his motivations.
Something.
Like, it's the mother and that he was molested as a child. Like, that started him down the conspiracy.
Which I'm sure it's part of it.
But, like...
It makes you isolated, and when you're isolated, then you get into weird
right,
headspaces.
Right, and I understand that we all probably, like at least adult-wise, could make that connection. You know, have heard stories, have known people in our lives, but like I feel like
what? Got molested as children, Justin? What are you talking about?
I mean, not me, but
like we all know somebody.
There's a lot of people in this world. Listen, man, people had bad uncles, priests. Clowns?
Just move on. Hey, some people are into that. If you go to the certain websites, you'll see a lot of Harley Quinn content, that's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. We're talking Harley Quinn, that's one thing.
She's a clown!
She ain't the big red nose, big red shoes.
Never said you'd have to be.
Clown.
When was the last time you saw a clown like that?
It was the last time I was in a circus.
When was the last time I saw Terrifier? Yeah, no, I don't think there was going to be a deeper point at any point with him.
I thought it was just gonna be, but if you're gonna have that plot line and if that was supposed to be part of what turned him into the person he is today, I feel like you have to kind of spell that out instead of just dropping it.
You don't have to do anything. It's an art house movie.
But that doesn't. Okay, I guess.
This isn't for the average person.
No, but come on! You can't just hint at molestation in a slightly comedic way and then just
hint at shit. They said it. They said it, Justin.
Okay, you can't just talk about his molestation in a slightly comedic way and then just take him out to see the bees and then just get interrupted. It's like, what? I don't care how it's like it makes you think or whatever. It's artsy. It doesn't need to explain everything. It was just odd. It's just an odd.
The whole movie's fucking weird.
No, but that was just an extra weird part of the movie.
That was weirder than waking up in a hot tub in outer space?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes, it was. For it going next to nowhere? Yes, it was.
Nah, it's just fun.
Oh,
Good, innocent fun.
The hot tub in outer space with their diverse cast of dreadlocked members of the board. That was fun. Yeah. This molestation guy was odd and
was
hilarious.
She the emperor, by the way? Because he said she was a queen with DNA from
related
the
to the emperor.
But then I swore they called her the emperor.
She sat in the main chair.
Yeah.
Higher than everyone else slightly, and she made the final call on Earth.
She also wore a headdress.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was just because she didn't have hair or
and
what.
She tapped the atmosphere,
she
right?
stabbed the bubble.
Yeah, I think she was
the emperor.
The emperor,
actually.
But he was just off because I guess if she is the Emperor, she has the Emperor's DNA, and maybe he can't test levels of the DNA.
He also seemed to believe that the Emperor was a he, which maybe he was just off on that. Which it doesn't make sense because he's basing the whole idea off of bees, and there's the queen is in charge.
Yeah, that does make sense.
So, I don't know. Anyway, it was interesting to see, because I was curious, because they said, like, he's, like, giving her all these volts, and she's surviving it, and he says, wow, that's more than ever before. And his cousin goes, like, ever before? Like, you've done this before? I'm like, how did you miss it? And then especially when he goes into his little office, and there's people he's cut up and experimented on, I'm like, how did you miss this?
That was the interesting thing, because, like, from basically the voltage point,
yeah,
and a couple more times before she went into his lab, he kept dropping that that she's not the first victim.
Yeah,
he dropped that multiple times, which was interesting because
how did the cousin not know?
Yeah, no, it's interesting for that, especially because that was the confusing part to me. Like, I get the cousin's, what's the polite term? Slow.
I don't know.
Mentally handicapped.
He doesn't have like Down syndrome. He's just like, I think he's got like Asperger's or something. Because he's on the spectrum, but he's still fully capable in every way. He's just very awkward and very uncomfortable.
And pretty lovable.
Yeah, very childlike.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I do want to give props to the actor. I'm assuming he actually is, and if he's not, just a great actor. But I think, yeah, he is actually autistic, and I thought he did a great job. It was interesting. You could see like certain points where it's like he was honestly just like, I don't know how to react in this situation as an actor or as a person. And it's like, and that's perfect because that's exactly how you would act. Yeah. So awesome. So yeah, I thought he was great, but I also give props to Yorgos Lanthimos in how he directed him and chose to work with him, because I thought that was a fantastic piece of work by both of them.
Yeah. It's interesting with the extra victims. I thought she was targeted.
Specifically. Yeah. Which they let you believe that because of how quickly that beginning does work. So I guess I should take back my criticism about that, if I even had one, where it's like the how quickly it gets into it and the absence of information allows you to assume that this is the first time they've done it, when in reality he's been doing it a while and just recently indoctrinated his cousin into
it looks super amateuristic when they kidnap her. Even though
I think they're just inept, but yeah.
Yeah, but like now I have to realize he's done this to other people too, and I'm pretty sure I saw men too that he's taken down. Yeah. And like, sure, catch him by surprise. They had the spray, which I guess was supposed to be some
the
sort
injection
of
is the most important thing.
Yeah, no, that was definitely the most important one. But the spray is supposed to do something. I thought it was pepper spray at first.
I did too, but it wasn't.
They're spraying her in the car, so I think it's supposed to be some sort of like knockout spray of some kind.
You wouldn't spray that in the car when you're in a closed compartment.
But then what else was it for?
I think it was specifically alien targeted. Like, just like they're putting on the cream. I feel like it had to be like sunscreen or something. I don't know.
Like maybe it's like a spray version of that thing they gave her. Like, okay, that makes more sense.
They didn't specify, but I assumed it was like sunscreen.
No, because I went from pepper spray to maybe that's some sort of knockout spray.
And then they did in the car, and I went, no way, because then you just crash.
And yeah, it didn't make sense to me. I'm like, okay, I guess maybe it has to get on you or get real close, whatever.
Yeah.
They were both running through the spray, and it wasn't affecting them outside, but that's outside. But
well, it didn't affect anybody. They were spraying it right in her face, and it did nothing.
That's why I was like, oh shit, she's just one of those people that can take pepper spray. Yeah. Is that part of that training she's been having?
Yeah, she took those karate lessons or whatever the fuck. Yeah. So, which I love that the second they jumped on her and she just kicked both of them in the balls and then ran away.
Gosh.
I love that.
She hit her specially trained self-defense move too.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
And you said that their kidnapping intent was poorly coordinated.
It was.
Did you see their Jennifer Aniston masks? You cannot coordinate that poorly. That is brilliant.
Listen, I'll give them credit for that point and for the needle. Other than that, it was really poorly executed.
Yeah.
But, like, it made you think it was the first time.
Sure.
And it definitely was for the cousin, but it made you think it was the first time for him, too.
Yeah, I wonder how he did it by himself.
I would just have to think you probably just go straight for the needle.
Yeah.
Which I know poses its own issues, but we're not going to get into that. That's just
also, they never gave the impression that any of the other people he did it to were nearly as famous as she was because
No.
nobody ever came calling for the other people.
Yeah.
So they were probably just random Joe Schmoes.
And that's the thing. What's the reason for the other people? If we were made to believe
Yeah.
that her kidnapping was, I know he said alien, but as the flashbacks show, she is directly responsible for his mother's coma and then ultimately her death.
Yeah.
Are
so
these
maybe
other
they
people
were
involved? Are these other people
somebody,
victims?
yeah,
Are these
to do
what
with
are
medicine.
they? He had a checklist of characteristics to tell who they were. So
Overbite,
yeah.
dense hair, narrow feet, something else, and then you can just tell because you make a lot of steak.
Yeah. He's been doing this a lot.
Yeah.
So then
But
another.
then he also only got 2 out of like 8 correct.
Yeah. So like, does he see a couple of the things and then go,
Yeah.
okay, let me break you down and see what you're really like.
Yeah.
But then he found 2 of them.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of convinced he actually found 2 of them.
Well, yeah, he did find 2 of them because that's the conversation with her. And if you didn't pick up on it that she was an alien yet, that was the kicker, was when she stays there and confronts him about it and says, so how many? And he goes, 2. And she goes, 2? You fucking idiot. Do you know what you've done? Kind of thing, because she's pissed that he killed other aliens.
Yeah.
And she's pissed he killed humans, but she's even more pissed he killed aliens. So, yeah, it's like that moment was a dead giveaway. If you hadn't picked up on it, then yet I don't know how to help you.
Hey, listen, some people, think people could be lying. Movies could be lying to you. No, it was odd that she was just sticking around after all that. It makes more sense that she's, just an alien.
The queen,
but like,
yeah.
I still figure even if she wasn't in either situation, probably could have just tried to get away first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, even as the queen, seeing that, she didn't have to confront him. She could have just tried to leave if the timing had worked out and just gone and done the whole earth popping anyway.
Oh, hey, by the way, props to Yorgo Lanthimos, by the way.
Yeah.
First film I've seen by him where he didn't have just so much nudity. In fact, there was none. There was hinted at nudity. There was the 2 people having sex who died.
Yeah.
But you didn't see anything other than a butt. Every other movie I've seen by him is just like any and every opportunity for there to be nudity, here it is. And I'm not against nudity in films. I really don't care. But I want it to be tasteful if you're going to do it. And I was like, hey, we didn't overdo it for once. Great job. We're getting better at that. I'm sure next movie he's going to do is just going to be, the whole thing is going to be nude. Just to make up for lost time. All right, well, that's what we had to think. What do you guys think? If you've seen it, let us know in the comments below. Of course, don't forget to like, share, follow, subscribe, all of that. Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.